Big news for the Gators today on the recruiting trail as they land a huge commitment from a 5-star legacy prospect. All right, guys, I know my background is not familiar. I am at a conference out of town, but this was too important to wait. So let's get right to it. Vernell Brown III picked the Gators today, and he officially becomes the top recruit in the 2025 class. Guys, this is massive. He is 5'11", 170-pound wide receiver out of Orlando. He's from Gainesville. He's playing high school ball in Orlando right now. He is a 4-star on every site, but a 5-star currently in the 247 Sports Composite. On3 and 247 have him as the 6th and the 7th best wide receiver in the country, respectively. So, listen, guys, tip of the hat to Billy Gonzalez. Now, this is a familiar territory for him. He is very familiar with the Brown family. This is huge. VB3 is a legacy recruit. His dad is Vernell Brown, played for the Gators. He was a senior in 2005, Urban Meyer's first year with the Gators, and he is who Urban Meyer very first dubbed the face of Florida football. And, I was in school when Vernell was there. He played with my husband. This is a guy that was a hard worker, kept his nose clean, really, really good teammate. I expect nothing less from his son. This is a huge pickup. This will now be the 4th third-generation family for the University of Florida. It is always important to win your legacy recruits, but particularly when you're talking about a guy that is a 5-star, that is right out of your own backyard, whose dad worked for the program in the past. So very, very familiar with the orange and blue, like even well after his playing days there. This is huge. But Vernell was looking at a lot of other very powerful schools: Ohio State, Florida State, Miami. You love when you can beat your in-state rivals. You love when you can steal one from Ohio State, who is obviously incredibly talented and really good at recruiting wide receivers. So this is just a massive pickup. In 2023, he had 70 receptions for 1,363 yards and 10 touchdowns, guys. This is the kind of kid, according to his head coach, that can take over a game. Vernell is really explosive. He is a great route runner. He has great hands. He's not massive, but he's not going to be a jump ball guy. That's okay. He is technically so talented and skilled. He is the kind of kid you just want to get the ball in his hands and let him go to work. Get him in space, hand the ball off to him, throw a screen, whatever you have to do to get him the ball. He has really good hands. Can also be a really good returner at the next level as well, something that hopefully UF will definitely take a look at using him for, right away as soon as they get him on campus. Let's talk about how big a win this truly is for UF. But first, let me get a bit of love to Meldon Law. They are the official injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators, and they have been serving North Central Florida for over 50 years, handling personal injury cases consisting of car, truck, motorcycle, pedestrian, dog bite, slip and fall, and more. Consultations for all matters are completely free. So listen, I hope you guys don't need them today, but if you do, please let Meldon Law take care of you. And of course, tell him you heard about him from Alley Peak. Okay, we already talked about it a little bit, but beating out wide receiver U, Ohio State. Brian Hartline up there, he is probably the best wide receiver coach in the NCAA. But guess what? Billy Gonzalez is pretty damn good too. Think about the talent that he has developed during his multiple stints at UF, his time at LSU. This guy is really good at getting wide receivers ready for the next level. And, in the past, there's been some knocks that he's not a great recruiter. And I have always said that is absolutely wrong. And proof is in the pudding. This is a really important pickup for this class. Florida needs to continue the continuity of getting multiple wide receiver classes stacked at UF. They are doing that. Big shout out to Coach Napier as well. Obviously, this is a relationship that is personal to him that he's been able to cultivate over the last several years. And It is a great sign of things to come. Once again, you beat out Florida State, you beat out Miami. You've got to win the kids coming from your own backyard. And think about how embarrassing it would be to lose him to one of your rivals. So big pickup. It seemed like there were times during this recruitment that maybe Vernell Brown would end up at another school, but Florida never quit. They were never worried about the outside noise. They just made sure that they ran their race. They kept in contact. They built those real relationships. So even when all of these other schools were coming in with all of this flashy stuff, they were able to sell Vernell Brown on what it was like to come home. This is a Gainesville kid. This is a kid that grew up in orange and blue. And, you go and you travel to all of these schools, you do all of these recruitment trips, and it is fun and flashy to go somewhere new. But UF is where home is for him. And it's a shout out to Billy Gonzalez, Coach Napier, for really able to close out this recruitment strong. All in all, phenomenal day for the Gators. This is, like I said, 87 times, a huge pickup. They kept a legacy kid home. They take a huge piece off of both of their in-state rivals' recruiting boards, and they are getting a really elite piece of the puzzle that is going to help this 2025 class continue to fill out really nicely. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and as always, go Gators.